Alrighty, good afternoon to all pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome to another impromptu pro wrestling talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, breaking news. Wanted to hop on here and talk World Wonder Ring Stardom in Las Vegas. We now have the full confirmed roster that will be making the trip to Vegas to participate in both Stardom shows. So there's definitely quite a bit to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump right to it. So there's 14 total. 14 total. So here we go. Check it out. Alrighty. And they both use, the two different graphics because they'll be representing both Stardom shows. American Dream 2025 in Sin City on April 17th. And American Dream in the Neon City on Friday, April 18th. I'm going to use this graphic because I like green. Green's my favorite color. But here are the 14 finalized talent. Starting from the right, you got Maika, you got Shuri, you got Hazuki, you got Momo Watanabe, you got Starlight Kid, you got Azumi, Mina Shirakawa, Hanako, Saya Ida, Konami, Natsuko Tora, Suzu Suzuki, Hanan, and Tekla. So those are your 14 ladies. Now let's talk about it. Like you got some pros and you got some cons with this layout. Okay, let's talk about the pros first. So the first pro that stands out to me, we got 4 of these ladies making their U.S. debut. We got Saya Ida, we got Tekla, we got Hanan, we got Suzu Suzuki, and I have to say, the 2 biggest surprises to me were Hanan and Suzu Suzuki. I honestly did not think Hanan was going to make the trip, nor did I think Suzu was going to make the trip. But I was thinking with Suzu, I think she has a decent fan base here in the U.S. And being that, unfortunately, she's gotten a lot of fat shaming from the folks in Japan, hopefully, with her coming to the U.S., hopefully she'll be able to embrace the U.S. fan base and they'll make her feel loved. But, yeah, I honestly did not think she would make the trip, but I'm actually excited for Suzu Suzuki to get a big opportunity to compete in the U.S. Same with Hanan and Saya Ida and Tekla. Because, Saya Ida and Hanan have been with Stardom for a long time. So, this is big. This is big for these 4 ladies. Okay. Another pro is, still the fact that we are getting a doubleheader. We're getting 2 Stardom shows. So there's at least the positive there is we're getting 2 Stardom shows back to back. A doubleheader hasn't happened in a long time. Another pro is you have to also think that out of these 14 ladies listed here, 9 of them are actually going to be doing 3 or more shows, which, includes shows outside of Stardom. Because, yeah, let's count them off. Hazuki, she's doing the 2 Stardom shows, and she's confirmed for Spark Joshi. Same thing for Mo Watanabe. Shuri, she's actually doing both Stardom shows, Spark and Marvelous. So she's doing 4 shows. Micah is doing both Stardom shows and Bloodsport. Starlight Kid and Azumi are doing 4 shows as well because they're doing the both Stardom shows, Spark Joshi and Dragon Gate. Mina Shirakawa is doing 3, both Stardom shows, and then one other show I forgot the name of it, but it's another Vegas show that she's competing and I think also doing a special meet and greet for. Hanako's doing 3 shows. 2 Stardom shows and the Texas Hold'em show. Konami's doing 3 shows, doing Stardom and Bloodsport. So I mean, that right there, those ladies are doing 3 or more shows. So maybe this could be that this is the lineup of talent that are potentially open to doing 3 or more shows. I mean, 9 out of 14 of them have already been booked. So there's a chance maybe the others will do the same. We'll see. Another pro, well, I guess this is more so for me, is chance to meet names that I never got a chance to meet either last year or have never met before, period. You know, names like Hazuki, Momo Watanabe, Suzu Suzuki, Saya Ida, Hanan, Natsuko Tora, Hanako, Tekla. You know, I've never met them before. I didn't even get a chance to meet them last year, nor while I was in Japan. So, you know, those are pros for me. But let's go ahead and take a look at the cons. So the first one, which I think is probably the one that fans are complaining about the most, and I do understand, no Cosmic Angels. Not a single member of Cosmic Angels making the trip. That's pretty shocking. That's actually really shocking. Yeah, that has pretty much frustrated a good number of fans, which is understandable. But yeah, that's probably the biggest red flag with this is no Cosmic Angels. So it is what it is. No Mayu Iwatani and no Saya Kamatani. So you don't have your icon of Stardom, your IWGP Women's Champion Mayu Iwatani, nor do you have your top Stardom champion, the World of Stardom champion, Saya Kamatani. Both of these ladies who were in Philly last year, but not making the trip this time. Another con, Shuri, the only God's Eye member making the trip. That's kind of a shocker as well, especially considering last year Saki Kashima made the Philly trip. So, wow, no other members of God's Eye. That's kind of a bummer. It's kind of a bummer. Another con, the lack of champions making this trip. I mean, really the only 2 sets of champions you have are Starlight Kid and Wing Gory. You know, Wing Gory, they're your Goddess of Stardom tag champs. You got Starlight Kid, who's your Wonder of Stardom champ. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, if they were to do title matches on both of their shows, I mean, that means they would probably could only do maybe Goddess of Stardom tag titles, maybe as the main event of one show, Wonder of Stardom Championship as the main event of the other show. Unless they do plan on having both titles defended on both shows. That, I guess that's still a possibility. But but just the lack of champions, you know, means most likely, you know, potentially 2 or less title matches, if any. So there's that. Because Because I assume with both of these shows, there's probably only going to be 5, maybe 6 matches in both shows. So that's something to think about. Um, Another con, with them doing a Stardom doubleheader, having only 14 ladies making the trip seems like a small number, especially when last year they only did one Stardom show and they had 12 ladies make the trip. So I don't count Konami because technically she wasn't signed to Stardom at the time. But yeah, and they're doing a doubleheader and only 14 ladies. That's kind of a big bummer. But I think a big problem that kind of made it seem like this is, as I mentioned before in a previous video, they're doing 4 straight shows in Japan from April 10th to April 13th. That's 4 days. And then the 16th is when Starlight Kid and Azumi wrestle for Dragon Gate. So you got to think 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. That's 2 days after the 13th that Starlight Kid and Azumi compete in Dragon Gate. So when you think about it, that's not really a whole lot of time. I mean, I do understand the time differences. So technically they, when they travel to the U.S., they're technically going back in time. So there's that slight advantage. But it's like, I mean, when you got them doing 4 straight shows in Japan, like 4 straight days, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. And it doesn't seem like it leaves a whole lot of room to recuperate. Because, they got to travel to the States. That's a long flight. I mean, this is coming from somebody that just went to Japan a couple of months ago. So, those are really the pros and cons that I see from this. And it is, it is a bummer. I know for me, I'm going to make the best out of it because, I mean, like I said, I got tickets to both shows, front row. So I'm excited because, I mean, once again, how often do we see Stardom come to the U.S.? You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm going to embrace it. The meet and greets, like I said, I hope they do still plan on doing meet and greets, like maybe through WrestleCon, or maybe they'll have their own set meet and greets, which I know a handful of them I'm going to be able to meet through Spark Joshi, like Hazuki, Momo Watanabe. I'll be able to meet them through Spark Joshi. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm going to still have a blast. But at the end of the day, I know fans are frustrated. I know I can understand the complaints are understandable. But at the end of the day, we have to also keep in mind that right now the U.S. is not a top priority market for Stardom. We got to remember, y'all, this is also a promotion that hasn't been able to consistently sell out their main venues. You know what I mean? They may sell out every once in a while, but they haven't been able to consistently sell out their venues. Not to mention, President Okada has a goal to hopefully, hit 10,000 butts and seats and hopefully get a show booked in the Tokyo Dome. All I'm saying is, with all these goals that they still got to do, thankfully they just had shows in Okinawa, so they've been able to hit pretty much all of Japan for the most part. But it's like, when they still have these type of goals left, why should they really go all in on 2 shows in the U.S. when they still have so much to accomplish in Japan? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that there's not a legit fan base here in the States, but we're not top priority. You know what I mean? Will that change at some point? Remains to be seen. I don't know. Only time will tell. But I still take it as a blessing that we at least seemingly will get Stardom in the U.S. at least once a year. At least judging from, they came here last year. They're going to be back this year within the next month. Maybe they're going to start off on a yearly basis. And if room allows for them to grow to maybe doing seasonal, or maybe doing something equivalent to NJPW Strong, then you know what? That'll be great. But I'm not going to rush it. I'm not going to rush it. And I'm just going to jump on the opportunities when they present themselves. And leave it like that. Anyway, that's all I have. Like I said, I didn't want to be on here too long, but I wanted to get this news out. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know, those that are going, what do y'all think on the finalized list of Stardom talent coming to Vegas for the doubleheader? Let me know your thoughts. Were some of them on your wish list? Let me know who you would have loved to have seen. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. My name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day, and I will see y'all in the next video and our live stream. Peace.